Hi everyone, Vinny Lynch here, and on today's video I'm going to talk to you about that burning question entrepreneurs face all the time, which is how long do I bootstrap versus when to go and get some external funding and doing it at the best valuation. So this is a dilemma that I faced myself and I continue to face all the time. I ran a tech startup for 7 years. We bootstrapped, we got external funding. I've worked with startups where we've bootstrapped for as long as possible. I've worked with startups where we've taken no salary for a period of time while we validate our product market fit. So I've been in the place where we've had cash to do things, I've had a little cash to try and do things, and we've had virtually no cash to do things. So it's against the background of that journey that I'm going to share with you some guidelines and principles that I think can be applied in any situation. And while a one size doesn't fit all, there are some core principles that you can apply which will help you not just understand when is the best time to get external cash, but when is the best time to stop maybe putting your own cash into the business. So number one, you need to hold on to as much cash as possible until you've proven the product market fit. This is something I face all the time when I'm helping startups, and it's probably one of the primary reasons why 9 out of 10 startups fail. A lot of the time what I come across is founders with a passion and a belief that the value that they have to bring to their target market is so compelling, they dive all in, which is great because you have to go all in, but they go all in without having tested the market, without having gone to that target market and explain to them what it is they have, even in a market research type way, where they're trying to get their feedback and trying to get their input and trying to understand the real value that it would have and the time maybe it would take to sell it to that market, because this impacts on everything. And really what you want to have is a very strong, compelling product market fit before you release more money into the next stage of the cycle. And number two, you need to be able to build a repeatable sales process that's also scalable. So by repeatable, you need to really get into the science of each stage in your sales process. And a great way to do this is to find an early stage customer or an early stage supporter in your space, in your target market, who will help you understand the buying cycle. So how buyers tend to buy, help you understand the typical timeframes that are involved, and then you can focus on your messaging and focus on the steps that are going to be involved in selling your product or service to that target market, and doing it in trying to design, I guess, a system that will allow you to do it in as quick as time as possible. And again, it's very important to stay close to your target market or a target market supporter who can help guide you and bring you through that in an objective way, because you want to, I guess, manage your passion and manage your belief that this is going to, jump off the shelves. It usually doesn't work that way, regardless of how great you think your product is or your service is. So be guided a little bit by the market. Yes, you can try and change, how they're buying it and how they view the urgency of the value, but ultimately you're going to have to in some way conform with how your market tends to buy this type of product or service. So that's really important in building a repeatable sales process. Then as regards building a scalable sales process, well, you need to do it in such a way where you can arm a sales team with all the tools and all of the steps that they're going to have to go through to sell this product. You need to be able to do that in a hands-off type way, where you can actually say, here you go, this is the training, these are the objections you're going to come across in each stage of the sales process. This is how you get over those objections. These are the value points that you focus on in each stage of the process. This is a typical time it's going to take you to close a sale. And this is a typical time it's going to take you to get through each stage of the sales process. So that's really important in building that scalable sales process. You need to be able to package it and give it to really good salespeople. Really good salespeople is the subject of a different discussion, and it's something that I'm going to be building on a little bit more this year. I'm actually creating a podcast around hiring really good salespeople to try and help companies benefit from proven tactics and proven strategies in identifying that talent. But I digress. So to finish up on this point, you want to build that repeatable and scalable sales process. And when it comes to funding, you're in a position where you probably want to release a little bit of funding towards proving this sales process will work, but you're not quite ready yet to open the doors. And what I mean by open the doors is to consider releasing more cash that you have yourself, more cash that you have from a Series A round, or that you might even be looking to a Series B round. You don't want to do it yet because you really, really want to prove that this model is repeatable and scalable. And how do you do that? Go and get some customers. So you've proven your product market fit in a compelling way. It's not just based on your gut. You've got some external validation from your target market. And you've got some early stage customers, which is going to really prove to you and to any potential investors that you've got a sales process that isn't necessarily going to look the same in 12 months' time, but you understand it. And when you understand it, you can work on improving it and tweaking it and developing it. And if you feel that it's scalable, and what I mean by that again is that you could hand it off to a salesperson with training to go and deliver it, that it doesn't always require your input. It will in the early stages, but in time, those salespeople are going to be able to go and bring in the sales themselves. If you've done all that, you're now ready to open the window and let that startup bird fly. So what I mean by that is you're ready to plow more cash behind your business. Whether it's your own cash or you're going to go to the market to look for external cash, you're going to have comfort and you're going to give comfort at what you've done so far. You've kind of proven that there is a business there. There is something that's worth funding, but there's a couple of things you need to understand when you're going to the market. You need to understand, what's the cost per acquisition of each customer, because particularly if you're in a B2B SaaS business where you're not going to have that big upfront cash injection when you sign up every customer, but that it's going to be either a monthly or an annual recurring amount that's going to contribute to your business. You need to understand that in building your business in the early days, you might consume way more cash by doubling the number of customers or tripling the number of customers than you would think. And I'll give you an example. In a B2B business, if the cost of acquisition means that an extra 5 customers, is going to cost you more in those early months than the revenue that is coming in from those customers. And cost of acquisition can be marketing, salespeople, salaries, expenses, and any time and money that's afforded to pulling in that customer. And often in a SaaS business, particularly if it's a monthly recurring revenue business, you're not going to see the recovery of the costs in year one versus the cash that it took to bring that customer in. So there's going to be a gap. But when you understand that and you're bringing it to the market, it's going to, put you in a very strong light because you understand the numbers, you understand the costs that are going to be associated with bringing customers on board. And most importantly, you're embracing it. You're not hiding anything. You're preparing investors for the fact that there will be, with the growth of this business, there may be 6 months where we're really tight on cash, but we're building the business all the time. So that's a good thing, isn't it? So when you understand that yourself and you embrace it and you can explain it to your investors, it puts you in a much, much stronger position to go and get the better valuations for you and for your business. It also, allows you to manage the expectations. And that's a big thing, particularly in startups where you're going to consume cash. Managing expectations is everything. It can be pretty bruising on you to go into a board meeting, not to mind your investors, month after month after month, and still be losing money. So you have to embrace the fact that you're expecting this. This is normal, and this is what we knew all along. Because what it will allow you to do is to condition your investors and condition the market as well, that you understand the business and that if you need other cash in time, it's because you're bringing the business across, or along a projected journey that you were very aware of. So they're my tips around cash. If you have it yourself, you don't want to invest until you've got the product market fit right. You still want to hold back a little bit until you've proven your repeatable and scalable sales process. But when you do, then go get the money, go build. Timing is everything. And if you understand it, and you understand the numbers around the cost of acquiring customers and the journey that you're going to bring the investors on, as well as yourself, it will stand to you in great stead, not just in terms of validation, not just in terms of your own mental health, but in helping you acquire really good talent to help you grow that business, which is going to be critical. Talent and people are going to make such a difference in the success of your startup. So I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, info@vinnylynch.com, and stay tuned for more video tips. You can visit my blog, my YouTube channel, more videos here on my website. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and please engage. I'd love to hear from you, what you'd like me to share with you, what lessons you would benefit from learning about. Remember, to me, knowledge is only half of the conversation. Application of the knowledge is really where the big value lies. So I'm very much around bringing case studies and proven experience to the table, not just knowledge, because you can get content anywhere. This is about, what works in real life.